Reese and everything, and then the like Witherspoon. She's like, no, with the knife.
Oh my
God. Like her name is something like Reese, and then they're like Witherspoon. No, with the knife.
You're so proud of yourself on that one, huh?
Huh?
So you sound so proud of yourself on that one too.
Even though I didn't make up the joke, it's so funny. I quote it all the time. Hello, good old buddy, old pal.
It's a good flavor, right?
It's fucking delicious.
Right?
It's apple and what, peaches?
Apple and mango.
Mango. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Dude, it's so fucking good. Oh my God.
If you had to be a fruit, what fruit would you be?
Peach. Peaches are so fucking good. Either that or a strawberry.
Yeah. Interesting.
You?
A blueberry.
It
sounds basic, but I fucking love blueberries. You just drizzle a little bit of honey and everything. So delicious.
Or just like a little bit in chocolate. So fucking good too.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Dude. So fucking good.
Pomegranates are good too. They don't get as much love.
I'm indifferent to them. Like, I like them. Like, they're good. But it's like, I have to crave them if I want to eat them.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with bananas too. Like, I love eating bananas, especially for like my breaks at work. But then sometimes they just have that strong banana taste. I'm just like, fuck.
That's what happens when you eat man-made bananas.
Yeah.
I would fucking kill to eat an original banana.
You would hate it.
Before the epidemic of bananas.
I mean, before we also like cultivated the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would hate it.
Why?
There's like little to no actual meat in the banana.
For real?
Yeah. You have to work to even get like a little tiddlywink of fucking meat. Same shit with watermelon too. Even corn.
Watermelon.
Like if you look at like ancient corn, the kernels are like super small and they're like tough as shit.
Hold up. I gotta look this up.
Look it up. If you even want like a quicker way to look at this, Salmonella. He's a like little YouTuber.
Oh, they were saying like salmonella.
It sounds like salmonella. Yeah, that's kind of like the joke.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
It's a.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
What was it again? Okay.
Salmonella. Salmonella.
I'm just searching up original banana.
Huh.
Ooh, they do look scary now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
If you want the closest to the original taste, people are theorizing about Laffy Taffy. Or like anything that's artificially banana.
Uh-huh.
Like a candy.
Uh-huh.
Because people say that is the closest tasting original banana.
That's disgusting because I hate artificial banana.
There you go. Because apparently, like, it's... Fuck, what's the word? Fuck! I'm gonna, like, find it later on tonight.
I just found a fan art, I'm assuming, of... Oh, it's a painting of bananas, but they look like penises.
What? No, I gotta see this.
They're called... It says Banana Dicks, original painting. $358.
Sold. Look at that big-ass banana up there.
Yeah.
That's a big-ass banana.
That one's excited.
No, I meant the... Fuck, where is it at? Go on. I meant that one right there. That's a big-ass banana right there.
It's average.
Seems pretty big to me. I don't know about you.
I think I was talking about the little Christmas tree that I wanted on my desk, and I was like, oh, I have like a little tiny Christmas tree, and then one of my friends commented, he's all like, don't say that, he's like, it's average.
It's trying. It's cold outside.
He's like, it's trying, okay. Alrighty.
Oh, dude, I'm so full.
Dude, yeah, we just fucking demolished fucking Wingstop.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so good.
Boneless.
I haven't had them like since early this year, because Daisy.
Yes.
I only get them with like Daisy.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. All right.
Everybody, welcome back to episode 10 of the Caffeinated Creeps podcast.
Yes.
I am your co-host, Mr. Butternups, and with me, as always, is my other co-host,
Ray.
Welcome back. Everyone, get comfy. We have today I'm drinking coffee.
I am drinking G Fuel.
And I'm very excited, as always, because you just ask and it's...
I like this flavor.
It's a good
apple
one.
and mango?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I keep forgetting the names because I can't taste the apple or mango, but it tastes good.
It's because they're trying to, like, since it's based off of Crash Bandicoot and that weird fruit in the game, people have always been saying, like, it looks like a peach or it looks like an apple or a mango. So they're just like...
Okay, you know what? The aftertaste does taste like apple.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Not bad.
It doesn't leave, like, a bad aftertaste either.
Yeah. It doesn't compared to the others.
So good.
We're going to try to film a 2-parter, which I doubt because it's already 8:25. But who knows?
If we finish this one quickly,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yours is first. I'm sorry.
Okay. So when I originally had a different topic or a different story that I wanted to cover, but I was so stressed out from a job interview that I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. So, I mean, I was looking at the information. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. I will cover it one day because it's so interesting. And there's, like, a sub-mystery attached to the true crime.
Ooh.
So I'm like... I like it a lot. So I wanted to share it. But I didn't get to because there's a lot of information. So instead, what I did is that I looked up weird last meals. And then I was like, okay, like I wanted to see what the last meal was. And then I saw one that was outrageous, but what the crime wasn't attached to it. So I'm like, okay, let me look up the case. No Wikipedia article. No fucking podcast article. No fucking, like... There's a small little news articles, but they're small. And then... most of my information I had to gather from, like, from an, I think it was, like, the Texas org website that dealt with the execution that day.
Oh. So
this is also the first, I think, our first death row story, too.
Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So this is not, like, it's crazy. I've never heard of this case before, but it's...
I'm invested already.
This dude's an asshole, by the way. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Alright.
So it's the murder of Paul Manier.
The murder of? Okay.
So
wait, who's the asshole? The victim or the killer?
The killer, obviously.
Okay.
His name's Peter.
I mean, you can still be a victim and an asshole.
You can be.
But you just said this dude's an asshole, and I was like, oh, okay. And then
in
you
this
said...
one, Paul is kind of sad. Like, it just happens so quickly. All right, so on May 7th of 1987, 23-year-old Peter J. Manel and his friend 21-year-old James Russell were hanging out on the beach of Galveston. What a terrible start. Galveston, Texas, when Peter had the idea to go see their friend 20-year-old Paul. And suggested that they go buy weed off of Paul and have a party at his apartment. After shortly arriving at Paul's apartment and receiving weed, Peter had suggested to Russell that they rob Paul. Russell told Paul that he was going outside to get some cocaine from his car. That's like a little form of distraction, right? Paul then proceeded to grab a small mirror to clean so they could use the mirror to snort lines off of. As Paul was hunched over the mirror, Peter struck Paul at the back of the head with the beer mug. Peter continued to strike Paul until he was on the ground. As Russell returned from the car, he joined Peter and proceeded to hit Paul with a nearby car shock absorber. However, Russell could not knock out Paul, so instead, Peter took the shock absorber from Russell and hit Paul several more times, giving Paul 6 skull fractures.
Something similar just happened this year.
Really?
Fuck yeah. It was, I think, either one boy and 2 girls, or it was 2 guys and 2 girls. They literally told their friends, hey, come out and sell us some weed. And then he's all like, okay, cool. And they're teenagers, right? And he does that, and then they killed him, and they're under arrest. If I'm pretty, cause I was all like,
you want to cover that?
I was all like, dude, I was like, you covered this, and then when you said the year, and I was like, okay, interesting, and I was like, well, wait, why does this sound so familiar? Literally, like, almost the same MO. Like, they killed him over some fucking weed.
But this one wasn't about weed. It was just about
obviously
money.
they wanted to rob him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. That's such a sad coincidence.
It is.
Hold up, I'm gonna look it up real quick, just so that I can. You can keep writing.
No. I'm gonna take this little tiny break just to drink some coffee right now. Do you want to cover that one when it gets further, or you just want to talk about it?
Oh, is it this one? Trio of teenagers plotted to rob, kill, and bury a fourth teen during a late-night drug deal ambush in a park. Dude, this literally fucking happened. Dude, this thing is from Law and Crime. It was published November 7th, 2023.
Damn, that's right. Jesus, that was last month.
3 teenagers in Texas are facing multiple felony charges over the dead body of another teenager found in a suburban park late last week.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
This is fucking Texas too.
Yeah, so the body was half hidden in a half-hearted and panicked effort. And they planned a robbery, and it went sideways, so they decided to kill him. And they fled from the scene after realizing what they just did, and then they ended up coming back, I believe, with shovels and shit like that.
Oh my god. It almost does sound like this case.
Yeah. Yeah. The victim was found by his mother, shot to death at Satsuma Park in Pasadena on November 2nd. Oh my god. That's
so sad.
Yeah, because I guess apparently he wasn't coming home. So she tracked her son's cell phone, and then it literally led her to his fucking body.
That's awful.
Yeah.
But also weird coincidence.
Yeah.
It sounds almost exactly the same in the same state.
Mm-hmm. Oh, same state.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
History has a weird way of repeating itself, sadly.
I mean, enough time, things have to reoccur more than once.
Yeah.
Alright, so Peter took the shock absorber from Russell. So Russell was already beating him with a car part. Mm-hmm. But then Peter just took over because he wasn't knocking him out. Which gave Paul 6 skull fractures.
Ooh.
Russell then took out a small pocket knife, but hesitated to use, to which Peter quickly took the knife from Russell and proceeded to stab Paul 39 times in the back and neck.
Hey, yo.
13 of the stab wounds were shallow, suggesting that Paul was being tortured. Yeah, it's
the way my eyes just widened and I'm sleepy.
It's really, really bad. When the stabbing wasn't cutting it, no pun intended.
I'm sorry.
I even put it right there.
I did not even laugh until you said.
I even put it right there. No pun intended.
I'm going to hell. God, I'm sorry.
Peter slit Paul's throat while Russell had held him down. While Paul was still alive, Peter tried to asphyxiate. I am not. Asphyxiate. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Asphyxiate.
Asphyxiate. Why couldn't I pronounce it? Holy shit.
It's something, you know what I mean.
Well, when Paul was still alive, Peter tried to suffocate Paul by shoving a blanket.
Technically, asphyxiation and suffocating is different.
My bad. But he put a blanket down Paul's throat, regardless.
Yeah. Okay.
So
asphyxiate.
Yeah, he tried beating him, wasn't working out. Stabbing him, wasn't working out.
Homie was made out of steel. Shit.
Oh my god, you're gonna hate this part next.
No.
After Paul was dead, Peter and Russell began to search the apartment.
Oh god.
After all the trouble, Peter was fucking mad because all he could find was just $20.
Are you kidding me?
Not even any drugs.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
All he had was $20, and he...
Keep in mind, he's only 20 years old.
He was worth only $20.
That's how much the murder meant, I guess, to Peter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only thing else they could find of value was a stereo system. So they loaded it into Russell's car, cleaned the knife, and headed out to Burger King for some Whoppers and left.
Oh my god.
Peter fled from Texas to Indiana, then to Illinois. But was arrested 2 weeks later in Illinois for having a sawed-off, single-barreled shotgun. A part of the stereo system was recovered in Chicago from a neighbor who bought it off of Peter for just $100. The rest of the stereo was recovered in Huntsville, Texas, after Peter had given an oral confession to the murder. Russell was soon arrested in Brookshire, Texas. After being arrested, Russell testified against Peter in exchange for a 50-year sentence. So, Russell was also going to get a death sentence, too. Mm-hmm. On October 10th of 1988, the jury had convicted Peter of capital murder. It only took 5 minutes for the jury to come back with the guilty verdict.
Wow.
Just 2 days after the verdict, Peter was sentenced to death by lethal injection. He apparently showed no emotion when he was told his death sentence. Alright, this next part is going to be fucking long.
Okay.
When I was typing this out on my computer, it took almost a full fucking page.
I'm ready.
One of the many reasons as to why it took the jury only 5 minutes to convict Peter was because Peter had already quite the criminal record prior to the murder. In September of 1982, Peter was sentenced to 1 year probation for retail theft, though Peter never did fully finish his probation period. In November of 1983, Peter was sentenced to a year probation for disorderly conduct and again failed to meet the full probation. 9 months later, Peter was again sentenced to another year of probation for unlawful use of weapons.
See, and this is the thing that pisses me off is that we have bullshit like that and they're not reprimanded. They just let them fly by or they slip through the system.
Yeah.
And then they do
but they
worse
keep catching him too, which is like the worst fucking part.
And then they do worse shit like kill people when they could have had him locked up since the beginning.
Yeah, he should have been in bars for a long ass time, especially with his next coming parts. Peter then violated his probation sentence again.
Oh my god!
Because he committed felony aggravated battery in March of 1985 by striking his girlfriend with nunchucks.
Oh my!
Peter
Lord.
Yeah, he's not. I'm telling you, he's an asshole. Peter pleaded guilty to the battery charge. It was given a 6-month probation sentence. However, in September of 1985, Illinois authorities filed to petition to up the battery charge to second degree, as Peter apparently had hit his girlfriend more than once using a wooden spoon and a motorcycle chain.
Oh my gosh, this guy's a fucking douche canoe.
He's an asshole.
You know what? I don't feel bad that he shouldn't even have gotten the last meal.
You're gonna hate him even more now. Until this part. Oh my god, as I was reading this,
I'm getting pissed off.
As I was reading these next parts, I was getting so mad. I had to get up from my chair, walk around, and just like
pace.
I had to pace back and forth. And I'm like, this asshole, and then I had to tell myself, he's dead.
No, I'm not ready.
Okay,
tell me.
In a death row interview the week before his execution, Peter confessed to the murder for the first time. Quote, "We got into a fight. I don't remember everything, but I know the other guy started stabbing him and he wouldn't die. I started hitting him with the absorber. One thing led to another. We shouldn't have done that. It was wrong. We were very high and drunk. That was my main problem." And then I put in here in parentheses, "Sure, buddy, that was your main problem."
Oh my god.
He also said that the events of his family life contributed to the violence and crime. Quote,
"Boo-hoo, cry me a fucking river, man. What the fuck? You can't use..." I understand your trauma makes you quirky and makes you do weird things. But, like, murder?
Yeah, it's... He tried shifting that blame far. Quote, "I grew up with a lot of animosity, a lot of anger. I've been locked up for 18 years. I want to get this over with," unquote. Peter told his attorneys that his death sentence was a, quote, "relief," unquote. He also added, quote, "Years ago, when I first went to trial, I said I was not guilty of the crime. I lied. I want to tell the truth now. I want to tell the truth. I am guilty. I was wrong. I want to pay the price I was supposed to. I've learned from all my mistakes in the past. I'm sorry for what I've done in the past, and I want my future to be more peaceful and a better place. I believe in doing good now. I want to apologize to the family members of the deceased. I would like to make peace with them if possible," unquote.
The audacity to even say the ending.
Oh, that he wants to make peace?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't get any better.
Are you?
I would be 100% real.
What the cinnamon toast fuck, bro?
It does not get any better. But, a little... you guys stick with me on this part, okay?
I'm literally bouncing my leg up and down because of how angry I am. Like, I'm so tempted to just exhume his body and then beat him up even more.
Okay, but I think you're going to like this part. For the main reason why I started these notes, but had no idea of the full story prior, just before his execution, Peter was asked what he wanted for his last meal. Peter now holds one of the largest last meal requests in history. For his last meal,
what a douche.
Peter requested 20 beef tacos, 20 beef enchiladas, 2 double cheeseburgers, a pizza with jalapenos, fried chicken, spaghetti with salt, half a chocolate cake and half a vanilla cake, cookies and cream ice cream, caramel pecan fudge ice cream, a small fruit cake, 2 Coca-Colas, 2 Pepsi-Colas, 2 root beers, and 2 orange juices.
Would you like white or wheat bread with that?
I'm gonna Diet Coke with that, actually. Trying to slim down. It's such a long fucking order.
Did he eat it all?
I would assume, yeah. Because I do know that there's one guy, I think in the 90s in Texas, that completely abolished the last meal thing. Because he asked for so much and then never ate. So Texas just went, we're not doing that anymore. Cut the program. I think actually a few states do that now. Where they just give whatever they're serving that day to the person.
Wow.
On October 6th, 2004, Peter was given the lethal injection with his last words being, quote, "Into your hands, O Lord, I commence my spirit. Amen. I'm ready." Unquote.
What?
At 6:22 p.m., he was pronounced dead. On his final day, Peter never apologized to the family like he said he would. He didn't even make eye contact while being executed. Anthony Mainier, the younger brother of Paul, who was only 12 at the time of his brother's death, said that he had planned to attend the execution with his parents. Quote, "It's just going to let me know he's getting what they gave him. What he deserves is nothing what he's getting. He's getting the easy way out. He's going to sleep, and that's it. I hope he realizes that he got off so lucky." Unquote. He also thought Peter would apologize, but never did, saying, quote, the way my mom and dad feel, he can admit his guilt to his maker." Unquote.
Wow.
That's it.
That is... Wow. That is fucking crazy. 20 beef tacos, 20 enchiladas.
Yeah.
Caramel ice cream.
You want me to run it back?
2 Cokes, 2 Pepsis. No, it's okay. A jalapeno pizza.
Fried chicken, spaghetti with salt.
Spaghettios. I know that there's people, that there's kids that eat, like, just the spaghetti, like spaghetti with butter. Yeah, they like it like that, apparently. I don't know.
I mean, I guess butter is butter, and it's delicious, I guess, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, That is fucking wild. It's really cool how you explained to me, like, how you found the case, because my coworker, she literally just told me yesterday, because she likes to ask about the case. She doesn't really listen to the podcast, but she listened enough where she can give us 5 stars.
I'll take it anyway. I'll take that shit anyway.
Yeah, I literally told her that I don't care. I was like, as long as you give us 5 stars. But she likes to ask me about it, so she's like, oh, so what are you covering? And then, like, I'll tell her what I'm covering, and I'll, like, explain it to her, like, as a cool practice, you know, before I come and explain it to you. Well, she was all like, oh, so how do you find, you know, like, your cases and everything? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I just search and then I find something, you know?
Honestly, it was a little difficult to try to find a solid article. I thought at least, like, Wikipedia would have one. Or, like, some type of, like, podcast or something, but I couldn't find one.
So you tried to search up, like, the name of the killer and the victim?
Specifically look for it.
Wow.
I'm either that or I just didn't look hard enough, apparently. Maybe there is someone out there that might have covered it, but...
Maybe YouTube. Have you checked YouTube? Probably.
I didn't even check YouTube. It was just...
If not, that'd be crazy. We might be the first ever podcast to cover that.
I kind of hope so.
On Spotify. That's crazy. Okay, so while you're getting that, I'll get ready with mine. Okay, so I'm supposed to be doing paranormal, but this is more like a history lesson, a history thing. And hear me out, okay? I'm gonna be talking about the disappearance of the Roanoke colony.
Let's go!
So, it might sound familiar to some people. It was briefly mentioned, I believe, in American Horror Story on season Roanoke. That's literally what the season is called, Roanoke.
Okay, so there's YouTube videos, like, just...
Of explaining the case?
No, just people just explaining the last meal. Like, just...
That's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just YouTubers eating the fucking last meal, and that's it.
Interesting.
Which is around 50,000 calories.
Damn!
Yeah, it's a big fucking order.
Oh my god. I need chapstick. That is crazy.
So
Such a biggest meal. I want to see if there's like any last meals that like isn't even food at all.
I know that there's one guy who asked for a olive with the pit still, like, with the seed still inside, so that when he died, his body would grow into an olive tree, because like an olive tree is like an extension of like peace or something like that, like an olive branch, that thing. So I guess that's what like the term is.
Symbolism.
Yeah, that's what he wanted, but he's a committed murderer, so they denied his request.
Jesus. Alright.
On Spotify and YouTube, there's no person that I can find that to cover this case right now.
Wow, so you might be the first person to ever cover it on Spotify and or YouTube.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy. Cool, congratulations.
Thank you.
Clap. Everybody clap.
Everybody, if you're not fucking clapping right now.
It's like the Ghost Stories dubs. I said jump.
I keep seeing the one where it's like the Blood Lake one, and the girl just keeps fucking screaming.
It reminds me of that one Invader Zim thing. He's all like, "What? What?
Who are you?
Who are you?
What?
What?
Who are you?"
Okay. So going back to this.
Yeah, continue.
So, it's not kind of paranormal. I feel like I fucked up because I was almost done with it, and then that's when I texted you. I was like, holy shit, because I was researching this, and I was like, holy shit, there's like no paranormal related to it.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Remember, we're doing true crime / conspiracy.
Yeah,
and
that
then
too.
Paranormal / supernatural.
Yeah.
Roanoke has a lot of supernatural, not story elements, but just like element to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just shrouded in mystery, so it works. It works.
So I was stressing out so much. I even texted Michael. And then when he didn't respond, I texted him again.
I was in the casino, my bad.
I'm sorry, you were living it up, and I'm just right here, like, just...
He's stressing the fuck out.
Yeah!
I'm telling you, with this new... By the way, everyone, I got a fucking Apple Watch.
Yeah, you got an Apple Watch. He feels all nice and fancy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's been like... They've been out for so long, I never got one.
Yeah.
It was like $60.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're really fun.
But, it's because Daisy was using, like, the voice thing to send texts. Mm-hmm. And when you texted me, I was like, oh, it's fine, continue the story. I pushed send. Apparently it never sent.
Uh-huh.
I was like, why haven't they texted me back yet? And then I checked, I'm like, it never fucking went through.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's okay. It happens. Alright. Well, my mom uses her Apple Watch religiously. She's worn it every single day for years.
It's kind of cool. I like it.
Just be careful to take a break, especially if you see like a weird bump or color on your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Because some Apple Watches can be like faulty. And then you don't know if you're going to get like cancer or some shit. Or like a cyst. Because there was this one lady that did end up like... She ended up getting a weird bump where her Apple Watch was at.
Mm-hmm.
And it was some form of cancer.
Damn.
Yeah. It's fun, huh? Alright, so the Roanoke colony. So, welcome to History Lessons with Ray. I will be explaining them and the mysterious disappearance. So, if you haven't heard about them before, buckle up, because shit's fucking weird.
I want you to know that right now. I do love...
history.
I do love history.
That's why I was literally, like... There was so much that, like... it's just stuff that wasn't really related to it. It's just stuff that was leading up to it. And it's just so much information that, like, I was eating that shit all up. I was like, this is interesting. This is fantastic. But I was all, like, not fantastic enough to add to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not important to the story.
But I also just love, like, the mystery that surrounds it. Like,
all right. Here. Hold your son. Okay. Can I read it now?
No. Go for it.
Can I talk my shit again?
Talk your shit.
All right. Okay. So, history lessons with Ray, like, for, like, the 1,000th time. So, this is based in the 16th century.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So, like, the little pilgrims and shit like that.
Okay.
All right. So, basically, it was the 16th century, and conquistadors were encouraged to set sail and discover new lands in Central and South America after Christopher Columbus's discovery, quote, discovery of the New World. Fuck him. So England wanted to settle in the New World, hoping to find precious metals and gems, but they also wanted to convert the native people to compete against Spain. So Spain and England really had this crazy beef at the time, and, like, England was really trying to one-up Spain because Spain was, like, on fire. Like, not in a good on fire, but, like...
is there?
No.
Is there even a good way to be on fire?
No, but basically, like, they were basically on fire because Christopher Columbus, you know, like, fucking discovered, you know, the New World. He stole shit from the Aztecs and the Incas, you know what I mean? Like, Spain was fucking hella rich because of how much, you know, like, land that they were discovering, you know? They compared it to, like, the Garden of Eden. Like, yeah.
Damn.
Because everything was fresh, nothing was, like, fucked up and, you know, gross. So, so they were trying to, like, one up, you know, Spain.
Yeah.
So, okay, literally, I just said that. England was hella jelly. That's what I put right here, hella jelly. And another reason why England wanted to convert the native people is because they wanted to challenge Spain's Catholic influence. Because,
always comes back to the churches.
I know, right? That's why, see, this is why I have beef with religion, because how many people have died in the name of religion?
Did you send me that TikTok, or maybe I find it, I don't remember. It's just some guy going, man created gods. And he's like, but I can create one about us having men kissing.
No! No, you haven't sent me that. I want to see it.
It was like, he was just trying to explain, like, we created all these gods that, oh, I remember now. He's like, that explain how yielding crops is a good thing, you know? Like, that we praise the sun. He's like, but we also make them hate the gays. Like, how is that even...
How is that possible?
How is that possible? Like,
it's like with Jackie Chan, like, how the fuck can this guy be fucking homophobic and transphobic, but look beautiful in a Chun-Li outfit in the fucking Street Fighter movie?
I know.
Makes no sense. Anyways, he's girly pop. So when
he pulled that shit off, huh?
Yeah, dude. I have the edit saved. He's so... I have it saved on my phone, and occasionally I look back at it.
Young Jackie Chan was...
Yes, oh my god, he was. Him and Bruce Lee. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold up, okay, we gotta go back.
Speed of Chun-Li. Fuck.
Yeah. When trying to attempt to establish a residence in the Atlantic coast, the English would be able... I don't know why I put, like, E-N... in, like, all caps, but then G-L-I-S-H in lowercase, the English would be able to take part in privateering and gain control over valuable trading routes. So Sir Walter what? I can't pronounce his name.
Imagine I had a worse time with asphyxiate. Oh, now I can say it.
Hold
Fuck.
up. Wait, hold up. Did I spell his name wrong? Okay, well, his name is Walter Raleigh? Or Raleigh? And anyways,
Walter.
he was Queen Elizabeth's the first boy toy.
No.
Literally, that's what the fuck he was. And she favored him due to their supposed romantic affair, granting him permission to go on a reconnaissance to North America. The first expedition was only to scout potential areas and settle along the Atlantic coast. And they would end up discovering the mouth of Chesapeake Bay, and it was decided that it was the prime location for a permanent settlement. There were various issues, which included conflict with native people and hazardous storms, and it made it hard for each expedition and settlement attempt. And eventually, Boy Toy Walter went to Queen Lizzie to propose an expedition to colonize the New World. Do you like how I said that?
Mm-hmm. You make a great history teacher.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'd be fantastic. Speaking of history teachers, dude, supposedly my old history teacher from middle school got fired because he was trying to message his students.
Why is it always the history teachers?
Dude, and I fucking love this history teacher so much that I was in his class for 7th grade, and I volunteered to be his teacher's assistant in 8th grade. That's how much I love this teacher.
Have I told you the story of like how I think one of my teachers was like hitting on me?
Oh no, you have not.
Like trying to make a move.
Oh damn.
It the worst part was like I think a year or two after I graduated, they fired him because there was rumors that he was indeed trying to message and get with some of the students.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What's worse was the... Okay, you know what? I'll wait until you finish. I don't want to...
Alright. That's okay. Okay, so... Wait, did I lose my part?
Take your time.
Oh yeah. So, permanent settlement issues. Boy Toy Walter went to Queen Lizzie to propose an expedition to colonize the New World, and it would help. Oh, his name is Raleigh, Raleigh. If I pronounced it wrong, shut up. I did not.
We'll just call him Boy Toy Walter.
Boy Toy Walter.
Yeah.
It would help Boy Toy Walter and his men scout. I don't know why I put scout twice. The area for a base that could be used to launch raids on Spanish ships. So, the main goal was to exploit valuable resources and laying English claim. And in April 1st, no, not April 1st, my bad. And in April of 1584, Boy Toy Walter set off on his expedition, reaching the coast 3 months later in July. So it took a whole fucking 3 months to get there. They ended up encountering the Algonquian, Algonquian, Algonquian tribes while exploring the land. Accounts from their voyage said that they had plentiful resources and looked promising for future settlement. Raleigh retired to England and brought 2 Algonquian peoples named Mantia and Wanchese.
Mm-hmm.
And one was of the Croatia tribe and the other one was of the Roanoke tribe. So basically, never mind, just kidding, forget I said that. But, forget I said the basically part. Investors were intrigued and provided more funding to go on a second expedition. So, in April of 1585, 7 vessels under the command of explorer Sir Richard Grenville set sail to Plymouth, England, with 600 soldiers and sailors for the second expedition to Roanoke Island.
Isn't it Plymouth?
But it says mouth, not myth.
I thought it was Plymouth.
Plymouth? Plymouth? I'm gonna say Plymouth because it sounds better. Okay.
Okay.
Plymouth.
But to be fair, the English language has a lot of weird words.
English is not my first language.
It is not.
Alright. My first language was Goo Goo Gaga. Okay.
My first language was apparently Chinese. I'm telling you, like...
What?
What did I tell you? No, it was Nicole. Fuck, we just talked to her on I think it was Friday.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, hang out on Friday.
Yeah.
Without me.
You worked. So apparently when I was younger, they tried... Because, my parents speak Spanish, and my siblings were just talking English. So baby me couldn't comprehend, or I was confused apparently, as to what language to speak. That I chose a fucking different language entirely.
What?
Or like, to them it sounded Chinese to gibberish.
Interesting.
So they had to pick one language.
Maybe you were Chinese in your past life.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But the doctors were like, you have to pick one. You can't do both. So they settled with English, and that's why I barely speak Spanish now.
That's why you're an Osabo kid.
Oh, fuck off! Oh,
it's okay. You're valid. You're still a frijol.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. An English explorer named Ralph Lane joined the voyage. So basically, Richard Grenville was the explorer. He was gonna set sail, but also another explorer named Ralph Lane decided to join the voyage. And due to harsh storms, they had to reroute to Puerto Rico so that the vessels can get repaired because these storms fucked up the ships really bad. Things were getting heated between Lane and Grenville because Grenville wanted to do side quests and he basically wanted to do privateering, which put them behind schedule. So basically, privateering is like the legal version of pirating.
Legal? Okay.
No, literally, like, it's fucking legal. Like,
really?
Yeah, if you, like, pirates are bad, but you can do the stuff that pirates do if you share all the loot. Yeah.
Okay.
So literally, dude, like, they fucking loved going on these side quests, like, so much. Like, it's just crazy.
To be fair, if you ever play, like, any games, it is fun to go on side quests.
Yeah.
So fun.
Winter was coming. And they needed to...
Bring me back to earlier this week where you just keep going 9 inches of snow.
Winter was coming and they needed to prepare. So that's basically why Lane was kind of like upset at Grenville. One of the largest ships, the Tiger, ended up getting demolished by the storms after the settlers landed. And this ship ended up carrying like vital supplies. So Ralph Lane eventually stayed behind with about 100 men to build homes while Grenville went out to get more supplies back in England. It was getting difficult to survive with what they had, so there was a peaceful pact established between the settlers and the Algonquians. And this pact ended up ending due to the greed for food by the settlers. So they were hella greedy with the food and, you know, like, it was just fucked up. So the Algonquians were also exposed to English diseases such as smallpox, and it increased tensions. So the chief of Secotan, one of the Algonquian tribes in the area, decided that the colonized should be removed from the area. So Wingina, he's a chief, he devised a plan to cut off their food supply, which would make them break up into smaller groups to make them forage for food to survive. And then the Secotan would overpower them. But the only issue is that Lane caught wind of this and had the chief killed before the plan was devised. Yeah. Okay. And coincidentally, Sir Francis Drake was making a pit stop after raiding Spanish ships in the West Indies. Because they fucking, like... It was literally like GTA. Like, they're right here, like, you know, taking shit left and right.
Yeah.
So they had convinced him to take Lane and the rest of the men to another place, you know, there for the colonists to relocate. And that reason was because they were fearing that Spanish ships might come and they didn't have men and supplies or anything to defend themselves. And the increasing tensions with the Secotan tribe after killing their chief. So eventually that paused their plans when another storm broke out. So Lane was basically like, fuck it. And he's like, let's just go back to England. So the attempt to resettle, they just gave it all up. And then they, you know, took the boat of shame back to England. So now we're going to skip forward to 1587.
Okay.
Which was literally like, what, 2 years after, I believe? Yeah, because I believe this is 1585. So it's 1587 now. John White was chosen to be governor of the new colony after England's second attempt to colonize. He was sent with 118 colonists. Those who were recruited were from London and agreed to go for their beliefs and wanted to spread their religion to the native people. They ended up arriving in Roanoke Island in July of 1587. And they originally were supposed to settle in the Chesapeake Bay Area. However, it's speculated that the navigator left them there because he wanted to go back out to sea to raid Spanish ships for treasure on his way back to England. Side quest, man.
Yeah.
The colonists fixed up the houses Lane and the other men left behind because, you know, they were still there. And in August, White left the colonists behind to get more supplies in England. So they got dropped off in July. So literally like a month later, he's all like, alright, I'm gonna head out to get more stuff. Y'all stay here. So he ended up returning to England, and you know how it takes 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
So he got there in November, and he was ready to begin his trip back in March of 1588, but his plans to return were delayed because the Privy Council prohibited him from leaving due to the Spanish Armada. It's essentially a whole bunch of British ships demolishing Spanish ships in like an unofficial war. So it's kind of like a war, but it's not like a war. Yeah. That's what they explained it as.
An unofficial war?
Yeah, okay. An unofficial war. The ships that White planned on taking were not up to par when it came to defense. So they didn't want him going in case they did end up running into like Spanish Armada and then getting taken over.
Yeah.
So finally, on March 20th, 1590, he was able to return to Roanoke Island to provide relief to the colonists that he left behind. That was 3 years after. So he finally arrived in August, and there was no signs of colonists, dead or alive. The houses that they had rebuilt were gone, and the only 2 pieces of evidence that remained, literally, like, it was so ominous they couldn't figure it out.
The houses were gone?
The houses were gone.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how houses back then were built with, like, straw and mud, dirt. I don't know.
You're thinking too far into the past. They had, like, fucking wood.
Wood, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I have to think of Abraham Lincoln, and he had his little wooden house.
They could build houses. They didn't just use mud.
Did they?
I'm sure they maybe used mud as, like, concrete.
Yeah. Who knows? But, yeah. So, everyone seemed to have disappeared. And the letter CRO was carved into a tree, and the word Croatoan was carved into a wooden post, which was the only man-made thing basically left behind.
Yeah.
So because of that, White was all like, holy shit, you know, they might be in the island of Croatoa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now known as Hatteras Island, and it's basically 50 miles south of Roanoke. So he decided to go over there and check to see if the colonists were there. But he was unable to reach Croatoa. He was unable to reach there to the island due to bad weather. So he was forced to return to England with no knowledge of what happened to the colonists. So something that I didn't write here that's low-key kind of fucked up is that the colonists that went with him, there was like 112 to 120. One of them happened to be his daughter and his unborn granddaughter. So when they ended up getting there to the new world, per se, his granddaughter, I believe it was a granddaughter, was the first English child born in the U.S., basically, in America. Which is kind of a fun fact, but basically his daughter and his granddaughter, like, are gone.
Damn.
So yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of possibilities of what happened. And, a lot of people believe that the Algonquian tribes, you know, like, they believe that they didn't have good relations with the colonists. So they believe that they were killed, but the only issue is that no body or bones were discovered at the site. There's no massive grave, like, anywhere. Nothing. And because of that, also, death by disease was also ruled out because, you know, the lack of bodies or whatever.
Yeah.
So, Captain John Smith ended up arriving at present-day Virginia to establish the Jamestown colony, and Chief Powhatan informed him that the Roanoke colonists had been in his land and claimed they were killed to prevent more colonists from coming into the New World. But, like, you can kind of, like, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe he was just saying it to, like, scare them off. But clearly that didn't work because look at us now. One of the most popular and well-accepted... And this I'm just copying from the website now. Oh, shoot. I don't have the website here. But I will look for it. But basically, the rest right here are the theories, and I just basically copy and pasted it, okay? So, one of the most popular and well-accepted theories on the lost colony of Roanoke is that some of the colonists traveled to Croatoan and settled there around the late 1587, and other colonists traveled to Chesapeake area, along with Lynn Haven and Elizabeth Rivers with Native American tribes. So before John White's departure from Roanoke in 1587 to get more supplies, the colonists told him that they would go 50 miles into the Maine, and this could be interpreted in different ways. Master historian James Horn offers his opinion on what this statement could mean, and also finds disconnects in the widely accepted theory of the colonists' disappearance. Horn suggests that the colonists meant that they were going to travel 50 miles into the mainland of the continent. James Horn also suggests that the colonists left a small group at Roanoke Island to inform White about where the colonists had moved. Another group of colonists may have traveled to the villages of Tuscarora tribe that occurred at the coastal plain region of North Carolina, and Horn believes that the colonists that lived with the Tuscarora tribe may have survived for about 10 years until the warriors of Powhatan and Pamunkey tribes traveled down to Roanoke and Chowan rivers to kill the colonists. The colonists may have been killed to discourage the English from bringing more colonists into their land, or so future colonists wouldn't be able to meet up with the Roanoke colonists. So it is still possible that a small group of colonists traveled to the Croatoan island and survived. English explorer and naturalist John Lawson gave an account in the early 18th century that he met with a group of Croatoans, some of which had gray eyes. These were unlikely features for Croatoans to have, leading Horn to believe that the individuals with gray eyes could have been the descendants of the Roanoke colonists who made it to Croatoan despite developing theories. There still isn't enough evidence that surfaced to inform what truly happened to the Roanoke Island colonists.
I have this weird fascination about just disappearing things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know this one's probably just the huge ass movie, like the Atlantis.
I
was
thinking about covering that. I was literally, so I ended up getting a book about the paranormal, right?
Yeah.
Just so that I can Russian roulette it, and I'll be like, let's see what I want to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, like I said, I'm more into true crime than I am to, paranormal stuff, and then you're vice versa.
But I won't lie to you, I'm starting to get really into true crime.
Yeah.
It's quite...
And it's crazy because I've been wanting to get more into paranormal as well. That's why, that's why I bought a fucking book. I have 2 books now. I have 2 books. One of Japanese myths and legends, and then one of, just, random paranormal shit from, around the world. And it's so cool. I might let you borrow it, but it basically talks about, for example, Nostradamus and, how he predicted, the 3 antichrists and shit like that.
Antichrist.
Yeah, and then that was one of the things that I wanted to cover, too. But it kind of doesn't really make sense, but it kind of does. But, he covers, a whole bunch of crazy things, the book, it's, UFOs and everything. So, they had disappearances, and the first one was Atlantis, and then it was the Roanoke colony, and I think it was Flight 19 in the Bermuda Triangle.
Mm.
So, it was really interesting, and then when I saw that, I was like, interesting. And it's funny, too, because when it comes to mythical creatures, the first thing that popped up was the Jersey Devil. And I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
It's great.
Yeah. But I think, in my theory, there was a theory that since they had divided up basically into smaller groups, some of the colonists were adopted by other tribes, and they were to mix and mingle. That's just what I think. Maybe that's just the person in me that wants the best in humanity,
Mm-hmm.
To just go and maybe they were adopted into it and stuff like that, because they did hear, Native American people, speaking fluently in English and looking, with fairer skin, paler skin, and with gray-colored eyes. which is uncommon, so like it makes sense. It really does make sense. But supposedly they're trying to look for more information, and as of last month, I believe, or as of this year, they're supposedly a person whose last name is Brown. He believes that he's a descendant from the Roanoke colony, from a settler. I believe his name was James Brown. So he believes that that's his ancestor, right? So they basically took his blood work, and they're like trying to like investigate it in a way, but it's kind of hard because like you don't have
There's
anything
to go off.
Yeah, basically. So it's really crazy, and I feel like maybe the colonists were like adopted by some of the Native American tribes.
Mm-hmm.
But it also explains like there's no homes, like nothing was there, so which makes me think that when that other chief decided to go and to kill them or whatever, like maybe they destroyed that village or whatever that they had,
but then
the little settlement.
But nobody ever says like maybe what they did instead was they just, instead of like tear it down or like break it apart, they just disassembled it and then reassembled it into somewhere else, like to their place. Because if we're going over the fact that maybe the settlers just,
it makes sense
that they just went to a different village,
and it's not like they can go and check because it was Native American land. It's not like they could be like, oh yeah, well, let me look to see what they have. No, it's crazy. Yeah,
I don't know, but then people always go, oh, maybe aliens took them, or...
And I'm just like, that seems a little bit far-fetched.
But at some point, the far-fetched is our only possibility.
Yeah. I agree.
Or you can go even crazier and say that maybe some mermaids or sirens in the ocean just make them walk to the ocean.
Ooh.
That'd be a interesting theory to throw out there. A little crazy, but...
I wouldn't mind dying like that.
Really? Oh, fuck that. Hell no. Just walking into the ocean, just like mesmerized by something? Fuck that shit.
Hey, but at least I won't know, and then I'll just get eaten before I even realize what's going on.
Nah, I doubt that. I think that they would break the spell and then let you know where you're at. Like last second.
It'd be like Smash.
Like, this joke's on you guys, this is how I wanted to go.
Yep. So yeah, that's freaking crazy. It's wild. But yeah, that's the, and it scratches like, it's just like a very like, those cases where you just scratch your brain and it's just like, unexplainable.
It's either they're missing or they're clearly somewhere else and we just labeled them missing.
Yeah. But at the same time, and it's crazy because at the same time anything is possible because it's the fucking 16th century. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. I don't know.
Or what if it's just people from the future time traveling to that past and just stealing all the people?
For why?
A museum. It would explain where the fucking house went. Just like make a whole little like habitat of like, oh look, it's the colony of Roanoke. They had the people there, the little house there. I don't know. That's fucking far-fetched theory, but
we need to go to a museum.
Of
any museum.
Okay.
A history museum though, not like an art museum.
Okay. Well, I always love going to like science museums. I'm a fucking sucker for that shit.
I've never gone to one.
Really?
I'll be down to go to a science museum.
Alright. Say less.
Like, I went to the Museum of Tolerance, which is like a Holocaust museum. Dude, that shit was fucking crazy because there's like a whole walkthrough as if like you were there. You know? And like they make it look like shit's fenced off. They make it look like debris of like war and shit like that, like if you're in the ghettos. And then there's also like a wall with like 2 doorways. And then basically, like, you get to go in whichever one you want to go to. One says, like, women, one says men. And then you get to go in there into, like, an actual life-size, like, copy of a gas chamber. And there's chairs in there, even though there wasn't actually chairs. Like,
yeah.
But there's chairs in there, and then they're showing, like, videos and stuff like that. It's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. But then there's also another museum called the Museum of Holocaust. That one's free to go in. They just ask for donations. And that one has a life-size, like, train car. And they make you go inside the train car, and they stuff you in there so that you can know what it felt like to be stuffed in there before you would get dropped off, you know, like, at a concentration camp.
Fuck.
It's crazy.
It's heavy.
Yeah. And then they have, like, the little headphone type of things where you can, like, listen to it as you walk.
Like an audio thing?
Yeah.
I did that
and
when I was in middle
to,
school.
Yeah, and then you'd have to, like, give them, like, your license, like, as, like, so that you don't take it, you know, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's really cool. Those are the only 2 museums I went to because I think they were both school-related. But, yeah, I would love to go to more. It's just that they're just too far.
I kind of want to read... I think...
Well, I went to my local town museum.
Ah.
Well, I can't say what town I live in, but my town has a museum of itself. And I went in there, and I mean, like, it was okay. It was just a whole bunch of, like, school stuff. Trains, because we're fucking trains and shit like that.
Back in middle school, we did, like, we used to do, like, little pamphlet booklets of, like, history. So we did, like, Mesopotamia, we did ancient Chinese history.
I think I did the same thing.
And stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
As much as I hate myself now because I love learning history, but on my own terms, you know? But back then, I just didn't do any of the fucking assignments, so I never learned the history, like, fully. Which sucks because we went to, like, a museum.
And that's me, too, because I never did the assignments, but I loved learning.
Yeah.
I just didn't like doing the work. But I just loved learning it.
Same thing with me here.
You know? High five! Oh my god!
Exactly the same shit with me. But we went to, like, a museum. It was about, I forgot... I think it was one of the dynasties. I don't remember which one specifically. But we went to a museum where they had, like, statues preserved and a lot of shit that was amazing. They had, like, audio headsets to, like, tour through the museum. And I want to go back now as an adult because, like, now I can truly appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Like, the history and everything. But back then, I just did not want to fucking do the work. Mm-hmm. Especially because... To me, like, we did some stupid projects too. Fuck, I really hated myself because one of them was also ancient Egypt, and I'm a fucking sucker for that shit too.
Yeah! Oh my god!
Sucker!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And I know I love learning that, but I just hated the way they taught it. And one of the projects that we did was to mummify a piece of chicken, like a chicken wing. Mm-hmm. And, like, we had to, like, use spices that they used, salts that they used back then to mummify people. Mm-hmm. And we wrap it in cloth and waited to see how long it would take to, like, dry up and look mummified, you know? Mm-hmm. But I hated having the thought to ask my parents, can you buy chicken so I could use one as a project? To me, I don't know why, but to me it seemed like such a waste of food.
So you never did it?
So I never did it. I took the apple juice. Oh my god. Oh, it was bad. It was really bad.
That sounds like fun.
I'm sure it was fun. I just never did it. And then one of my history teachers had like a Chinese coin.
Let's do that for our holiday party. Make mummies out of chicken wings.
No. Ugh, God, no. I don't know. I love learning. I don't know what it was with me in school.
Me too. Oh my god. It's just I hated it. I never got good grades, but I like learning.
I got okay grades.
I was always a pleasure to have in class. I just needed to learn how to shut up.
I needed to learn how to speak up more. That was my thing. I just stayed quiet in the back, did my work, and that was it.
That's crazy.
Except for like my last 2 years of high school. I really started getting out of my shell. Wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So I guess this is the end of this episode.
I do want to leave off with that story about the teacher in high school.
Okay.
Okay, so this was sophomore year sophomore, I think junior year. I think it was junior year of high school. and one of my extracurricular was video production.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say teacher's name, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I was with them since sophomore year
Mm-hmm.
because it was cool to learn how to use cameras and how to edit shit. It was cool. And for one of our assignments to pass the class was that we had to attend one of the school plays after school and record it so that some of the school could use the footage. And so we went to it, and I was really excited for it because it was 12 Angry Men, but they called it like 12 Angry Students.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that fucking thing, by the way. So we recorded it. It's late at night, and it starts to rain, sort of like light drizzle. I'm waiting in the front parking lot. It's just me out there, right? Almost empty parking lot, maybe like a few cars out there. And then my teacher starts to come out from the gates on my right side. He's like, "Hey, it's starting to drizzle a little bit. You want to go wait in my car?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. Like, I don't want to wait in your car." He's like, "Oh, we can just wait in the classroom. Just wait until somebody comes." I'm like, "I'm good."
Too much of a walk.
Yeah, I was like, "It's a bit far to your classroom." Like, I'm good. He's like, "Oh, all right, I'll just be right here behind this gate for you." But back then, to me, it just seemed like a normal interaction, right?
Yeah, but now as you get older, you're like, wait a minute.
As I got older, I'm like,
weird.
he was trying to do something.
Yeah.
And then it came out after I graduated, like a year or two after, and he was trying to have sex with the students.
Dilly-dallying minors.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that could have been me.
Oh my god.
I was like, fuck. Oh, the goddamn. But then in my senior year.
Oh my god. Uh-huh.
It didn't happen to me, thank God. I don't mean to say it like that. But my ceramics teacher, I only known him for a few weeks because he was caught diddling kids and the students.
It's wild because when I went to my old high school for my freshman year, the yearbook teacher, he was super cool. His name is Mr. Drake, right? Mm. And he was like the coolest, and like I would always eat lunch in his class because I would hang out with my friend and his older sister, and she was a senior, so she was in the yearbook club, and she was in his yearbook class, so she was always in there working, and we would just hang out, and he was super cool. Like we would play board games and shit like that. Well, he's gone one day, and then she's fucking like sobbing her eyes out at lunch, and I'm like, what the fuck, like what's wrong? Basically, he got arrested because he had driven all the way to San Diego to pick up a boy to take back home to do stuff with, and he had Polaroid pictures and everything. And he got caught, so he got arrested.
What's with teachers, man? Fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy. Supposedly, another one of my teachers from my middle school, Mr. Beck, he got taken out too because of that, and because of how like he was making girls very uncomfortable, which makes sense because I guess apparently for like a sweetheart dance for like Valentine's Day, he was like one of the chaperones there, like making sure.
Yeah.
And I guess he was like taking pictures of like the girls and everything. He was like, "Oh, can you like post for me and like I'll print it out and I'll give it to you guys." So the girls were all like, "Oh yeah, sure," like, and they took the picture because they wanted the memories. He never printed them out. And then I remember too that my, like, cause it like since it was a science class, we had stools because it was like the tables with like the sinks inside.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on like a stool and I had a really short dress on, but I would have leggings under because I dressed very like punk and gothic like at the time. Mm-hmm. So I was like that too, but I guess since my skirt was too short, it wasn't exactly under my butt, but like a little bit over the chair, like covering the whole seat and everything. And then like he just like tapped on my shoulder one time and he's all like, "Can you fix your dress because it's like over your seat?" There was nothing wrong with it. On contrary, it covered my butt even more. So what was the big deal? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just like, that was just so weird. But yeah, so that's just what I heard. I don't know if he's still there. That's just a rumor that I heard that he's gone. And then I looked up my history teacher and everything to see if he had posted anything on his Facebook in regards to him being kicked out, and there's like nothing. But he had a wife and he had kids and he was like obsessed with Doctor Who.
It's sort of weird to think about relations between students and their teachers.
It's freaking crazy.
Especially because, like, with elementary school kids, bro. I was a little asshole unintentionally to my second grade teacher. Like, I still think about this memory, like, because it haunts me every time. Where I remember, like, we just moved to Texas, right? And it's, like, beginning of second grade. And what I remember is that my teacher was really young, like, mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, she looked pretty.
Mm-hmm. I'm
like, okay, like, she's pretty. It was a new fucking place for me, so I was like, or whatever. And I remember her telling... she told the class, like, one of my dreams is that she gets married and has a couple kids, like 3 dogs. Like, she's introducing herself to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why that stuck with me. And I remember when I went to 3rd grade, I saw her again. And then I fucking hate myself so much. I asked, "Did you get married already?" And she goes, "No." I'm like, "Oh, that's a shame."
You're an absolute menace. Michael, what is wrong with you? Oh my goodness.
I hate myself so much.
Oh my goodness.
Look, that memory still haunts me to this fucking day. Like, those... it's the worst fucking thing to say to anybody. Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was bad. I wasn't very self-aware at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It sucked.
You still think we have time to do the other one? Or we can try, and if not, we can at least do my story, and then we'll do your story next Sunday? Possibly? Or we could just try, and if it doesn't, we'll scrap it, and then we'll just do it next Sunday.
Yeah, we can give it a shot, I guess, yeah. Okay,
Alright.
Another little decent episode. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode, for episode 10. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, listening in if you're on Spotify, watching if you're on YouTube. It means a lot to us for just, just for the little view, obviously. Rate it if you're on Spotify. Leave a like if you're on YouTube. You want to plug in our socials real quick?
Our socials for Instagram is Caffeinated Creeps. I'm sorry, I forgot our name for a second. Caffeinated Creeps Podcast. And then for our email, it's caffeinatedcreepspodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. For
For our Twitter, it is CCreepsPod. So we only have 2 followers, and I am one of them, and your brother's the other. But yeah, it's like those are our social medias. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening as always, and we'll see
you
guys.
Enjoyed my history lesson, and we'll see y'all. Oh, happy holidays, by the way.
Well.
As I'm recording this, it's still Hanukkah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's most likely gonna end when this episode comes out.
On the 22nd. That's Friday.
Because it's only 8 days, so it's already
It's basically over at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's over. So happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you guys next time on the next episode.
Woo woo.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I didn't say sayonara.
Our ongoing joke.
Sayonara.
What that means forever. We can't say that.